Cruise news time. Well, wow, 2,000 passengers stuck at sea on a somewhat infamous cruise ship. We've got a cruise port in Florida celebrating its best week ever, and we've got a cruise line that's they've donned the cowboy hats and let out a big yeehaw over their latest cruise ship. Cruise news. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Lido, Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news updates. Probably should have a graphic for that. I don't know. It's July the 22nd, 2022. It's a Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Here's an early question for the comments. We were on the road the other day, and I am the navigator and the DJ, and I was trying to put together a roller skating rink mix. So I was trying to pull together all the songs that I used to hear at the roller skating rink. And I just remember I used to go to this portable roller skating rink. That's how rural of a town I lived in coal mining country in Southwest Virginia, that they would bring the roller skating rink to us, and they would set it up under a tent like it was a circus. And they had it was all kind of level boards, but they had the skate rentals and the arcade there, but it was an open tent. So if it rained, it could rain in the roller skating rink. But of course, a very popular song at the roller skating rink, well, two very popular songs, They Drop the Bomb on You, I'll Drop the Bomb on You, Gap Band, Drop the Bomb on Me, I don't remember the name of that song, They Drop the Bomb on Me, Baby, is that the way it goes? Drop the Bomb and Don Henley's Dirty Laundry. For some reason, I don't know why that was a popular. And I Love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett. What was your roller skating song? And can you skate backwards? I cannot. I cannot roller skate backwards. Cruise news story number one: Port Canaveral, my favorite cruise port. I'll be heading over there tomorrow, just about 2.5 hours from my house, across the state. You know Port Canaveral. Well, on July the 8th through July the 14th, they had their busiest week ever since they opened for business back in 1964. They serviced 107,000 passengers during that week in Port Canaveral. There's been a lot popping at Port Canaveral. Of course, during that week, it was the inaugural week of sailings for the Disney Wish. And also, they had a big week when the Mardi Gras showed up. Port Canaveral's got it going on like the break of dawn. 107,000 passengers. That's pretty impressive. It bodes well for the cruise restart. We're well into this cruise restart. We're a year into it, and I keep bringing up stories that bode well for the cruise restart. I think it's important. I think it's important to remind ourselves as cruise fans that even though we see some negative things floating around out there, that the cruise restart is progressing forward, and cruise ports having their biggest week ever, certainly a positive signal. Cruise news story number two: Carnival Cruise Line had a big moment of celebration yesterday as the keel was laid for the Carnival Jubilee, and it was laid over there at Meyer Werft Shipyard in Papenburg, Germany, but they went and made it a hoedown. They donned cowboy hats, and they had graphics of cowboys, and they yeehawed and guffawed it up. They ate beans out of a can by a fire, and they roped things. I don't think they did those last things. But yeah, they put on the cowboy hat. The whole reason is because the Jubilee will be home ported in Galveston, Texas. So it was an homage, as it were, to Yellowstone. No, I'm just kidding. It was an homage to Texas. And let me ask you this, Texans. Of course, every time I say Texas, I think of the Dolly Parton, Burt Reynolds movie from back in the 80s and the title song. I won't sing that one here, but okay, I lived in Nashville, Tennessee for 30 years, and every time I would have people come to Nashville that had never been to Nashville, they're like, hey man, should we bring our cowboy boots and our cowboy hat and our Western attire? And I just want to go like, no man, yes, there's a lot of country music here in Nashville. It is Music City, USA, but there's a lot of different music in Nashville, and Nashville has a very vibrant cultural system, and it's not all just about, boots and cowboy hats. There's certainly a level of that. And so where you live, are you known for something that people think that that's the only thing that your location is known for? Yeah, maybe I've said kangaroo when I think about every city in Australia. Maybe I'm guilty of it. But Texas, are you okay just being known for cowboy hats and cowboy boots? There's other stuff in Texas, right? Buc-ee's. Of course, you should be known for the Big Beaver. That's what I'm thinking. Big Texas Beaver Nuggets. But I digress. The story's not really about cowboy hats. It's really about the exciting news that the keel has been laid on the Carnival Jubilee, which will be the third LNG cruise ship for Carnival, sister ships to the Mardi Gras and the Celebration. Celebration coming out later this year. Jubilee coming out next year. Yes, onward and upward. Yeehaw! How about that? Now, I did mention Australia in that last story with a reference to kangaroos. There is some news coming out of Australia, really a couple of big stories coming out of Australia. The first one is that the P&O Explorer is making its way from Singapore to Sydney. This will be the second P&O cruise ship to return to Australia. The Explorer was there earlier this year, just going back and forth, but it's actually going to Sydney and then moving over to Brisbane to do cruises. And again, another signal, a positive signal for the cruise restart, as Australia, who is late in the restart game, but back in the game, they're getting a second P&O cruise ship. Of course, P&O Australia is synonymous. I mean, Australia's right there in the name. P&O Australia is synonymous with cruises out of Australia, so it's good to see more of the P&O fleet returning to Australia. And now I need to tell you about these 2,000 passengers stuck at sea. But before I do that, let me quickly invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything that's going on in cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of the episodes. I don't think I did it well. Cruising. Is that better? Cruising? Great conversation yesterday on the show. Great conversation around testing. I appreciate everybody jumping in with the opinions and the conversation. And I think for the most part, everybody was cool. So it was really neat in this day and age, cliche term, in this day and age to see people kind of have a somewhat civil conversation with a lot of differing opinions. And so thank you. I'm proud of the community. Thank you so much. And then let me ask you this question. Again, I'm a little sidetracked today because I'm trying to get ready to go on my cruise tomorrow. But let me ask you this. What is the bigger sin in your household? Would the bigger sin being buying fat-free creamer when you were sent to get creamer, or buying unsalted peanuts when your task was to buy peanuts? Because both of those are horrible. I don't know if you've ever accidentally bought an unsalted nut, and then when you got home, if you intentionally buy an unsalted nut, that's one thing. But if you are buying nuts to consume, and you're expecting a nice old salty nut, and then you open the package and your nut is saltless, it's pretty disappointing. And the same thing is if you put some fat-free creamer in your coffee and you're expecting that nice, rich, creamy taste, and it just tastes like a horror show. What's the bigger sin at your house? We decided here that the bigger sin is fat-free creamer, but I have wanted to destroy property in my house upon discovering the saltless nut. So I don't know. Where are you guys at on that conversation? And okay, you don't care about that, do you? You want to know about 2,000 passengers stuck at sea on an infamous cruise ship? Well, the Coral Princess, which has been in the news, justifiably or not justifiably lately because of the COVID. They've got another story going on. They were trying to return to Brisbane off the coast of Queensland, and some crazy harbor swells, some crazy swells of the water, they prevented them from docking. They were supposed to dock at 7 a.m. on Friday. Australia exists. They're in the future somewhere. I think it could be Saturday already in Australia. I don't know. It's in a time warp. You have to bend the galaxy over and you wormhole it. They can't dock. They can't dock because of crazy swells, and they've shut down all of the harbor operations there at the port in Brisbane, and they're going to try it again tomorrow. So bittersweet. I have heard there's some people getting sick because of the rocky conditions, but I would say those people that don't get seasick and love a little bit of a rocky ship, they got a whole free extra day of cruising. How about that? A little more drinky, a little more food, and hopefully they're having we're stuck at sea entertainment. I don't know. There's worse reasons, I think, to be stuck on a cruise ship. But the ocean swells have prevented 2,000 people from completing their cruise vacation. Would you be mad? Would you be excited? Would you be ready for one more day of cruising? Let me just close out with some just answering some questions. Is this the same office that I was in that had everything behind me before? No, it's not. It's a whole different room. We've been moving stuff around. We're trying to make the guest room the bigger room that actually has a door that accesses the outside out to the pool area. And we're trying to work it where we can set up 2 desks together so that we can do some podcasting, some video podcasting. And so I'm trying to figure this office out, but then all of a sudden, I scheduled this trip, and so it's a barren wasteland here. And I'm using a different video system, but today I'm not. Some people commented on the quality, so all of those things are correct. If you have any other questions, you can leave those in the comments. And then let me say this. I thought I was out of here. I thought I was out, but you pulled me back in. The other day I mentioned the phrase sheesh that said exactly like that, sheesh. And I said that that's what the Zoomers were using to talk about things that are cringy. And then not everybody, but a good amount of people are like, that sheesh has been a word that's been used by many generations, that it's been around for a long time. What are you talking about, Tony? I'm talking about the way that generations appropriate words and use them differently. There are very few new words. So let me give you that. I guess I needed to add some clarity to it. I'm not saying that Generation Z, I'm not saying that the Zoomers are out there making up new words and putting them in the lexicon into our vocabulary. I'm saying that they are using words differently in the same way that we use words differently. Like when I was in high school, we used the word mug. It's like a mug. I don't even know what that means anymore, but we appropriated the word mug, which I'm sure the word mug's been around for hundreds of years. We appropriated the word mug and used it differently for my generation. That's all I'm saying. There's clarification on that. I'm sure nobody's even watching the end of the show here, or you're waiting for a punishment. A bunch of sadists out there. It's so funny. Leave a comment on the punishment. I try to leave the punishment off sometimes just to see, and then there's always a handful or 50 people that are like, man, you didn't punish me today, Tony. You didn't punish me. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll punish. Do you guys like the punishment? Do you like? Look, thanks so much for checking out the show today. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed it because tomorrow's cruise day. This kid. Please hit the like button. And unfortunately, if you don't hit the like button, I will be forced to punish you. And your punishment will be this. If you do not hit the like button, your next job, you're going to have to quit your current job. And your next job will be the person in charge of taking the traveling skating rink to all of the rural coal mining towns in Southwest Virginia, maybe even up into, West Virginia. You might have to kick it over to Kentucky. You're going to be in charge of driving the portable skating rink around and dealing with that. That's a punishment, I would think, because I can't imagine trying to bust out a skating rink. Just I guess pop-ups now. Hit the like button. This is Tony for Lido. Until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido.